Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. I know, y'all are like, wait, it's Friday. Why aren't we in the car running errands? Because I don't feel like it. We got errands to run, but I don't want to do it. So I'm here at the house, and y'all are here with me. But y'all, I can hear the intern in the background rattling around, and y'all can y'all see this felon? I got felons here pawing at me, so I tell you what, give me a minute. Let me find the intern, figure out what he's doing. Let me get these felons settled down. While I do that, y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I'll get things settled down around here, and then we'll talk about what we're going to talk about. All right, I think things are about as settled as they're going to be. Let's get into this. So I was thinking, you know how, this might just be a me thing. If so, y'all just nod along. You know how sometimes there are things that you think you know, and then like you learn something and you're like, oh, maybe that thing I thought my whole life isn't really a thing. And I will give you an example. And y'all, if you're new here, please don't think I'm an idiot and just like scroll on. Just give me a minute. So when I was a kid, my mom's already laughing. I'm just going to say it now. When I was a kid, my granddaddy had a farm that was across the street from a railroad track. And we would put coins on the railroad track for the train to come and like smash the coins. Well, I was like, we were little. And my daddy and my Uncle Claude would tell us that you had to put the coins on the track a certain kind of way or it would derail the train. Y'all stop laughing at me. I was a child. And so they said, you know, you got to be a grown-up to do it because there's a certain kind of way you got to put the coin on the railroad track or it'll derail the train. And you don't want to be responsible for derailing trains, so don't be putting coins on the railroad tracks without us being here. Because, you know, we would put the coins on and then go away and then come back later and find the coins. We wouldn't sit there like, wow, the train came. Anyway, so I have friends who are engineers, like train engineers, and I'm thinking right now, they're probably just absolutely like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I know. I'm sorry, y'all don't put anything on railroad tracks. But anyway, so never ever did I go back and revisit in my head, is it true that a coin on a track will derail a train? I just filed it away as my daddy told it to me, so it's true, because y'all, I was a kid. So then I grew up, and the SEC championship, early on, Georgia, I think Georgia was playing Arkansas. And all I remember, because I mean, I think it was a noon game and we were like getting tuned up. And there was a railroad track maybe down by where they were playing. And so we were walking down there, and I don't know if we found a coin or we were talking about putting coins on the track. So I told the story about, we got to be careful, it'll derail the train. And I think as it was coming out of my mouth, I was evaluating the truth value of the statement, and my friend was like, Manzon, what did you just say? And I was like, and I'm not sure if I repeated it. Like, I don't know if I doubled down or I don't know what happened, but like as an adult, I sort of reevaluated this truth that I had known since I was a child. And he was like, do you know the, like, and he like starts going into the whole, you know, the size of the train and the size of the coin and that there's no way. And I was like, my daddy told me that, shut up. Anyway, I want to talk about, I know, I can't believe I just told that story. I might edit that whole thing out. Anyway, I want to talk about myths that we believe that we should not believe. And I'm going to tell some of these on myself, not about putting coins on railroad tracks. And if you know others on me, do not tell them in the comments because I will delete them, mother. So the first one, and this is one that I believed up until like a minute ago, was that high protein diets are bad for you. Now, there are some myths that like high protein is bad for you, like excess protein does a bunch of things and causes cancer and all of this. That's not true. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But I was under the impression that high protein diets like the carnivore diet causes kidney damage. And y'all, I've read reports that talk about that. Well, there are reports now or studies now that counter those reports, and here's what they say. They say that the earlier studies that were out, what they were seeing was increased like kidney activity, that actually does happen with very high protein diets. But just because the kidneys are working more doesn't mean that it's causing like kidney damage or that it hurts your kidneys. So again, just because the kidneys are working more doesn't mean that the diet damages your kidneys. I think what was happening was it was causing different kidney output. So they were seeing that in the studies and saying, oh, that's bad. Studies now show that it's not bad, and that a high protein diet can be a perfectly viable diet option. Now, if your doctor says to you, don't do this because it's bad for your kidneys, don't do it. Y'all, I can't tell you, like y'all have seen me fuss about the groups that I'm in on Facebook, but I've seen people in a group say, oh, is this bad for you? And then people are like, oh yeah, it is. Oh no, it's not. And then the person's like, well, my doctor says. Well, you dillweed, if your doctor says it, then, I would probably sooner go by what my doctor says than what folks on Facebook say. That's just me. But anyway, so if your doctor tells you things that are like contrary to what I say today, obviously go with what your doctor says. I'm not a doctor and I do not play one on TV. So anyway, I was wrong about a high protein diet causing kidney damage. It causes, or like harming your kidneys. It causes increased like kidney activity or kidney output or whatever, but recent studies show that that's not like the same thing as kidney damage. So that's myth number one I'm debunking on myself. Let's go ahead and debunk myth number two on me. And y'all have heard me say this 1 bazillion times. It's about carbs. I guess this isn't really debunking a myth on me. It's the idea that that carbs are bad for you, or that all carbs are bad. We've talked in the past about that there are good carbs, but I am steady saying how carbs kill me, and I may as well put carbs right straight on my hips because that's where they're going. Carbs are not bad. Here's the deal. A lot of folks focus on is it glycemic index, glycemic indicator, whatever that is. And that's the ranking of carbs in food. And I think that it ranks like foods like some kind of way, like 1 to 100 or something, based on the carbs and like whether it's like good or if you should eat them, it's good or bad, whatever. I think that causes people to hyper focus on carbs. There was a meta-analysis, I want to say, it's been a while now, but of different kinds of diets. So by a while, I mean like years ago, but different kinds of diets like low fat, low carb, high protein, bunch of different kinds of diets. And the result, sort of the outcome of all of those diets, or like the analysis of the results of all of those diets, was that you can be successful and lose weight on any one of those diets. So hyper focusing on like any one of those things is not necessarily good or necessary. The point with carbs is eating fewer processed carbs. So if you eat fewer processed carbs, it can lead to healthier eating, because I think you're paying more attention to like taking processed carbs like white pasta and white bread and those kind of processed carbs out of your diet and hopefully replacing them with healthy things. But here's the caveat. If cutting out those carbs just makes you either crave carbs, or if you're taking out those carbs and you're not replacing them with healthy things, you're just replacing them with whatever, or it makes you hyper focus on those carbs, or it makes you, for whatever reason, it makes you feel worse, like if you're hungrier during the day, just don't do it. Just eat your carbs. So I think the point there is that it's a matter of personal choice. Whatever kind of diet works for you. I don't know if y'all remember, or if you were around back in the Atkins diet days when you would like completely deprive yourself of carbs, and all that would do is make you dehydrated. And then when you would get to the point where you craved carbs so hard, you'd eat like a whole loaf of bread. So that's kind of the thing, is that carbs in themselves really aren't the enemy. It's what you eat your carbs with and how you eat your carbs. While we're on it, let's talk about fats. The myth that all fats are bad for you. We know this one, right? We definitely talk about this on the reg, that your body needs certain fats because you need, is it omega-3 and omega-6 acids? I think I remember that. I might be making it up. I don't know. But there are things that your body needs that you get from fats. But you need to be careful with saturated fats. Don't eat too much saturated fats and avoid trans fats altogether. Egg yolks. You would not believe how often I hear, because I eat eggs all the time. Like, even though they're exceptionally expensive, but like, I adjust my budget to have eggs because it's just so much a part of how I eat and how I sort of maintain. I get enough protein and I keep myself from being hungry and snacky by eating eggs. So you'd be amazed how often I hear, oh, well, either eggs aren't good for you or just eat the egg whites and get rid of the yolks. Y'all, ain't nothing wrong with egg yolks. They're a great source of protein, healthy fats, and other nutrients, which I don't know right now. But the whole idea that you have to just eat egg whites and not egg yolks that's a myth. We ain't buying that one. Also, that red meat is bad for you. Now, I don't eat much red meat, not because I think it's bad for me, but just because it's too filling for me. But red meat is not bad for you. So we mentioned the protein thing, and I said we're going to talk about the cancer link later. There's not a cancer link. Let's be clear about it. I mean, there's a little bit of a cancer link, but here's the link, is that y'all can look this up. I'm not going to get too deeply into this because I don't want to say all the wrong things, but it's not red meat that's the issue. It's the way that cured, smoked, my dog is kicking me, cured, smoked, and highly processed meats are handled. And it's something in cured and smoked meats for sure that if you eat a lot of those, that's where you start getting into risks of, I don't want to say the C word, but you get into risks of unhealthy things. So it's not red meat that's bad for you. I have a friend that eats steak all the time, and I kind of give him this look just because it's fun to, but he's super smart, so he knows that red meat's good for you, or it's not bad for you. But yeah, I mean, I just don't eat it because it's too filling. So red meat being bad for you is a myth we ain't buying anymore. Let's talk about this one, because I've mentioned this before and said that I was going to do some looking into this. Fresh, the idea that fresh is more nutritious than frozen, because, I keep frozen berries around. I keep all kinds of frozen veg in the freezer, and I'm always like, I wonder if these are as good as, did I say fresh? Frozen. I keep frozen stuff around. I'm always like, I wonder if these are as nutritious as fresh. And they are. There's very little difference nutrition-wise between the fresh version and frozen version of food because of how quickly it's harvested and frozen. So if you can have fresh fruit and veg and you like it, do that. But if frozen works better for you, then go ahead and do that, especially if it encourages you to eat more fruits and veggies. And now canned, that's kind of a horse of a different color because canned food tends to be more processed. So you're going to lose some nutrients in the processing, but y'all, cooking is processing anyway. So like when you take your frozen corn and you cook it, you're processing it a little bit more. So if the way that you need to do it is, like if you don't have a whole bunch of freezer space, so you need to have canned veg instead of frozen veg, get you some canned veg. As long as you're eating your veggies, y'all, it's better than not eating veggies. So frozen is a good alternative to fresh if you can't keep fresh around. And then canned is fine too, but if you can do frozen over canned, probably do frozen over canned. I'm gonna piss some people off with this one. Detox. The idea of detox, I'm gonna really piss some people off with this. The idea of detox, like detox diets being a thing, that's a total myth. So I know that was a very bold statement, but y'all think logically about this. So first of all, the ones that you buy, you can buy the detox tea or detox whatever it is. In most cases, those companies can't even tell you what they'll be like, oh, you're detoxing from the impurities in your body. Which ones? What are you taking out of my body? What are you removing from my body by by me drinking this tea? What impurities or what? So toxins are poisons. So if you're detoxing, you're removing poisons. What poisons am I removing from my body by drinking your tea or your slushy green freaking smoothie or something? Tell me what it is that you're removing from my body, because otherwise that's a false claim. So that's number one. Number two, any kind of like detox, like, drink, liquid diet thing that you go on, again, the idea is that it's supposed to be removing toxins or poisons from your body. What are they removing? It is not uncommon that what they're removing is actually healthy things, because they cause you to, and y'all, I don't want to get graphic, but like if you're just like drinking tea or doing those detox things and you're like eliminating a lot, like you're bathrooming a lot, you're losing a lot of stuff when you bathroom. And a lot of that could be vitamins and minerals and things that you actually need. Now, if you do a detox and you feel better, y'all, you might just be feeling better because you're losing some weight, or you're actually like taking on nutrients that you should have been eating in the first place in those weird detox drinks that you're drinking. So instead of doing those weird detox things, and I know I need to stop that because I'm being mean to people. I don't mean to be mean to people. But instead of doing those like detox drinky diet things, why not focus on sustainable, healthy eating habits? And if there's something going on in your body and you're suffering from some kind of like acute toxicity that needs to be addressed, drinking some green slush smoothie ain't gonna do it. So let's move away from those detox things. Focus on eating a good diet. Leafy greens, good lean protein. Y'all know what we need to eat. Food with lots of vitamins and minerals, and you'll be just fine. All right, we talked about, I think this was in one of my lists. I talked about this not long ago. Eating often will boost your metabolism. I mean, that's kind of a myth. Digestion does raise your metabolic rate, but when you eat those like smaller meals throughout the day, you have to eat enough to raise your metabolic rate. So each time you eat, you have to eat enough each time to have that metabolic rate increase. So you can't be eating like little bitty meals throughout the day, because one, that doesn't raise your metabolic rate, which is the goal of the whole thing. And studies have shown, and these are qualitative, not quantitative studies. So, I mean, this is just a matter of like talking to people about how they feel. But it is not uncommon that when people eat that way, like eat little bitty meals throughout the day, they never feel full. So that kind of makes you feel either snackier or like you're depriving yourself. Like you feel more like you're really dieting and you struggle. So maybe don't do that. The frequency of your meals isn't really what matters. It's your overall caloric intake. So if you want to break down your total calories into 4 or 5 smaller meals, making sure that they're big enough to kick up your metabolic rate, you can do that, or just eat normally. Just do what works for you, but just be aware that that idea that smaller meals throughout the day is better. It's only better if you're eating enough in those smaller meals to kick up your metabolic rate. All right, here's one I wrestle with. In order to lose fat, you need to do cardio on an empty stomach. And y'all, there are studies on studies on studies about this. And there are slight differences in fat loss or muscle preservation between if you do cardio on a fasted or a fed stomach. But it's really just individual preference, like whichever works better for you. If you feel better doing cardio after fasting, like without eating breakfast first or whatever, like work through the day and then have a break after having eaten before you do cardio. If you feel better doing it that way, do it that way. But some people feel like weak and lightheaded when they try to do cardio without having eaten first. Or for me, it really depends on what I've eaten the day before. If I don't eat well, like today, and then I try to ride the bike in the morning, or like if I'm really tired, like my rides recently have not been awesome, but it just depends. A lot of times it just depends on what I did the day before. It often doesn't have anything to do, because I just like I eat on my schedule and then I work out on my schedule, and like however they stack up, I don't feel like really matters. But it's, again, Lord, I've said it 5 times, more a matter of like if I don't get enough protein the day before, my rides are trash and I just feel awful. So it's all just a matter of personal preference. But one thing that research consistently shows is that if you do cardio fasting, so if you do cardio without eating first, eat protein as soon as you can after you finish your workout. That's fasted. Now, if you're not doing cardio on an empty stomach, it really doesn't matter. What matters then is your overall daily protein intake. So like if you're doing a lot of cardio and you're working out a lot, make sure you're eating enough protein like throughout the day. But if you're doing cardio fasted, then just eat you some protein right after you finish your workout. Y'all, this one crawls me so bad. We talked about this. We're not going to get deep into this. I'll link a video here about this one because I've already been all up and down this one. Negative calorie foods do not exist. It's just not even a thing. Like celery. I think the way this thing became such a thing is that foods like celery are very high in water content and high in fiber. So, I mean, they don't fill you up for nothing, but if you add, like I put celery in my salads, in my tuna salads, in lots of things. So those are the kind of foods that you can add to other things to sort of take up space, get you some fiber, help fill you up. And those will, I think, help you lose weight. But the idea that you can eat negative calorie foods and lose weight just eating that, good luck just eating celery and iceberg lettuce all day. Negative calorie foods do not exist. All right, that's my whole list. I was gonna do like a top 10 myths list, but then I was like, I know I'm gonna end up down rabbit holes and nobody ever believes me when I say like my top whatever number list, because quite frankly, I can't be trusted. But, so those were my 10. If you go back and count, there might be a couple extras, but that's my top 10 list. I have a bonus, and this drives me nuts. The idea that in order to lose weight, you have to not eat before you go to bed. Overall daily caloric intake is what matters. I've said it 19 times in this video. The problem with eating before you go to bed, there are a couple of problems, but it's not that you're going to go to sleep and not burn calories, because it's overall daily caloric like the calories that you take in and the calories that you burn. Now, are you going to feel like trash laying in the bed with a burger on your belly? I do. Like if I ever, because y'all know, well, new friends, I act like everybody knows me. I get up early in the morning. Like I get up early on the weekdays and I get up early on the weekends to work. So I go to bed fairly early and I eat a light dinner. But sometimes the intern will bring home something tasty and I eat a heavy dinner and then I'm miserable. And like I will wake up with a slap full stomach because I ate a whole like whatever, the intern will bring home, I don't know, pizza or something. I eat pizza before I go to bed and I'm miserable. But that's because my stomach is full because I ate right before I went to bed. But that has nothing to do with like a change in my like metabolic rate of burning calories. That's not like, that's an overall like daily rate. So I know I'm on a rant, but here's the thing. Here's the problem with eating at night before you go to bed is often, and again, these are those like qualitative studies where they talk to people about their like daily behaviors and stuff. Often when people eat at night, they're tired, and so they're not making great choices. So they eat like snacky food, or they're eating to keep going, right? So then they tend to eat like maybe sugary stuff, or like you don't grab a quick salad at 10 o'clock at night when you sit down to watch, the football game or whatever. So the issue is food choice at night. So you tend to choose higher calorie, probably sweeter foods at night. And that's the issue. It's not that you're eating, like it's not proximity to bedtime. It's the food that you're eating in that proximity to bedtime. That's the issue with eating at night before you go to bed. So the whole like eating at night before you go to bed affects your weight loss. It's because of food choice, not the time that you eat. So that's that. Oh, and y'all, this might be my biggest pet peeve. I'm gonna piss some more people off if you're still here. Two things, really kind of the same thing twice. People that say, like, okay, if I'm working out and I weigh myself and I'm like, ugh, I gained 4 pounds. And people are like, oh, well, muscle weighs more than fat. Stop that. Cut that out. That's not, at least for me, like when I get, like if I weigh myself on Monday, then I weigh myself again on Wednesday, I'm like, mother of dragons, I gained 3 pounds. I did not gain 3 pounds in 3 days or 2 days because I've gained 3 pounds of muscle. That is, no. What happened was I gained, I ate more salt than usual. It's water weight, it's something. It is not because my muscles all of a sudden got way bigger and muscle weighs more than fat. Muscle is more dense than fat, that is true. But if you're working out, if you're doing it, like if you're living a healthy lifestyle and your weight fluctuates and you tell yourself, oh, well, muscle weighs more than fat and I'm losing fat and gaining muscle, it is hard. I know there are friends watching this who are bodybuilt, the way that I work out, I do a lot of cardio. I do throw weights. I'm about to go sling some kettlebells, but I do high reps of low weights to stay lean. So when I gain 3 or 4 pounds, it's not because I'm gaining muscle. And those of you that do work on gaining muscle, you know that is hard. Like you don't gain muscle by, I'm going to try to lift a 35-pound kettlebell, 36-pound kettlebell. Y'all don't take away that pound. But lifting a 36-pound kettlebell and eating the way that I eat, I am not going to gain. If I gain muscle, it's not going to be much. And it's not going to be 4 pounds of muscle. You have to eat a lot of protein and you have to add protein and calories to gain muscle. I know I'm on a rant, but y'all, that just crawls me. When people are like, oh, well, muscle weighs more than fat. No, that's not. And it's like weight fluctuations are natural, but y'all just don't lie to yourselves and say, oh, I'm gaining weight because muscle weighs more than fat. No, that's not why you're gaining weight. That and this might be a bigger peeve. When people are talking about, oh, well, I'm working out and so my fat's turning to muscle. Seriously, does your dog turn into a cat too? No, cells can't turn into other kinds of cells. You have a certain number of fat cells and a certain number of muscle cells. Now, those fat cells will get smaller and the muscle cells will get bigger, but your fat does not turn to muscle, my friends. All right, that's all. I'm apparently a little bit grumpy, so I want to know, well, let's not talk about that yet. Let me get off of here. Look at Bo's looking at me like, why are you being so grumpy here? Look at this. If you're irritated with me right now, look at this cute dog. I know. Who can be irritated when a cute dog is in the picture? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go swing some kettlebells because I need to get off this couch and move around some. And then we're going to go in the kitchen and cook some stuff. So let me go do that. Let me go swing some kettlebells and I'll meet y'all in the kitchen. You're sweet.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason if they wanna go.
All right, friends, that's all done. Did I mention that I think I'm feeling a little bit puny today? If I already mentioned it, sorry for bringing it up again, but I don't think I'm sick. I think I just don't feel great. So I don't feel like messing with a whole bunch of stuff, which is fine. All that I have left to do, like I did my workout, I did all my things. All I got left to do today is to throw something together for dinner. Then I'm done. So I'm going to make something quick and easy. And I've been wanting to try this for a while, and this is the perfect opportunity. So y'all, we're going to make some Mexican corn and chicken, like street tacos. Is it street corn chicken tacos? I don't know what it is. But we're going to make some chicken and corn tacos, Mexican style. So I'm going to start, as with most things, by sauteing some peppers and onions. Now, some recipes that I've seen for this actually call for peppers. Some don't. None call for onions, but I don't care. I want onions in it. So I'm going to throw in some, I did the dicey thing. Y'all know my dicey thing that I'm obsessed with. So I diced up some bell pepper and poblano pepper. And I diced up just like half an onion. So I'm going to saute these and I'll be back. I don't know what y'all were just looking at, but I think these are just about done. Did y'all see I threw in just a big old dollop of garlic because I just couldn't resist. So it's onions, bell peppers, some poblano pepper, and a big old dollop of garlic. Now I'm just going to dump these into a bowl, and I'm going to keep my pan seasoned and put in a healthy little dollop of olive oil and throw in some corn. Oh yeah, it is. Let's say my corn's not open. It's open. Oh, well, I may as well use all the corn. I was about to start pouring and there was like 7 kernels of corn left in the bag. So I'm going to thaw the corn and like brown it just a bit. And the actual recipes that I've seen call for butter, but y'all, I couldn't do it. I could not use butter. So I'm using olive oil in place of the butter. And you're supposed to use mayo. Couldn't do that either. I'm going to use, like some of them said you could use mayo or sour cream. Y'all know what we're going to use. I'm going to use fat-free Greek yogurt. I don't know, we'll see what we get. Y'all settle down. So let me do this and I'll be back. All right, I think that's good and brown. So I'm gonna dump my onions and peppers and garlic back in just to mix it up. Y'all hear that crackling? All right, that's good. Let me get this whole thing up into a bowl and I'll meet y'all over there where there's better light and we'll finish making this thing, all right? So I'll see y'all in a second. Oh, friends, that is a big old bowl of corn and peppers and onions. So, you know, I'm debating. I think I am gonna. I was debating whether or not I wanted to scoop some of it out and not make the whole thing, because that's a lot, and I'm the only one that's going to be eating it. So let me do this. Let me dump some out into another bowl. Ooh, that's hot, hot, hot. All right, we'll make that much. Which, I mean, it might still be awful. I don't know, but at least be a little less awful. So now, here's what we're supposed to do. Y'all, gosh, y'all are looking all weird. I think that might be better. Here's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to mix in butter, which we're not doing. And then we're supposed to mix in mayonnaise, which we're not doing. And then some kind of cheese that we're not doing. So, I know. Hang on, let me grab my yogurt. Here's what we're going to do, and it's going to be delicious. I'm going to mix in some Greek yogurt, which is just like mayonnaise, only a little less so. All right, so let's mix that in. See what we get. All right, so we're supposed to season it with, I've read different things. One was chili powder, and I do want to try that. So, hang on. Let's do, I have a lime. Oh, I also made chicken. I forgot to tell y'all. I made the world's most boring chicken. Here, we'll do this. So this is the total, like, just stuff I have laying around the house meal. Because sometimes, y'all, that's just how it goes. So I had chicken in the fridge that I thought the other day, I can't remember what I was going to make. Well, I was going to make chicken. But the intern came home with some other idea, so we ended up not making the chicken. So I've had it in the fridge for a couple of days and was like, it's getting a little long in the tooth. I need to cook that. So I just took it, I knew I was going to use lime today, so I just cut a lime in half, squeezed fresh lime juice on it, put some of that minced garlic, like the mush garlic, the tube garlic, put some of that on it, and then salt and pepper, stuck it in the, did I tell y'all we got a new air fryer? Stuck it in the new air fryer. And it's good. The air fryer has like settings on it, like you just dial it and it tells you what to do. And it said for air fry, it said 15 minutes at 400 degrees, which I was like, that is way too much for chicken. And I kept checking it, and y'all, 400 minutes? No. 15 minutes at 400 degrees was perfect for the chicken. So I did that. I sliced it up, so we have that for our tacos. So now, let's do this. I'm going to scoop out a bit of this stuff, and let's do chili powder first, because I think that's going to be delicious. I do want some salt, though, because y'all know how bland Greek yogurt is. So let's do a little chili powder. And chili powder, you got to be careful, because it can get to be a lot super fast. I know. I could measure it. And I'm going to do a little salt and some lime. Oh, I forgot I got 2 bowls. Let's mix that up. And then you know what I'm going to do? I know y'all don't know, because I don't know, because I'm making this up as I go along. I'm going to just try it on a little plate with some chicken. Instead of making like a whole taco thing. Because I really want to see how it tastes. So I don't want to put, I have taco stuff out here, but I was like, you know what? Let's just taste this and see how we did. It actually looks kind of good. I'm a little bit excited. So that's what we have. So let's try it. And I made, like I said, super bland chicken. I just messed my camera all up. I don't even know, y'all. I made super bland chicken so that I could actually taste the stuff I'm tasting. So I'm going to get a bunch of the stuff and some chicken. That's going to be really good tacos. That's very good. The Greek yogurt isn't even weird. I was afraid the Greek yogurt would be weird. It's not even weird. It's very, I mean, it's like, I know y'all are like, I'm going to say this and y'all are going to be like, duh, what did you think it was going to be like? It's almost, it's like a slaw. Like, it's like a corn slaw. Like, chow chow, is that what you call it? I don't know what you call it. Anyway, it's very good. I'm going to try, you know what? I'm going to try just this stuff. The peppers were a good call, if I do say so myself. The corn, because it's frozen corn, it doesn't have a whole ton of taste, but it's got a nice texture. So, and y'all, I'm not going to keep talking about maybe I will keep talking about budgets. I don't know, but I think corn, and especially frozen corn, I find it to be a great way to, I'm just going to say it, to stretch a food budget, because it's cheap and it's good and it's healthy. And so throw this together with some chicken, which I used chicken breast. Obviously, y'all saw that, right? But I mean, you could do chicken thigh, chicken whatever. Throw that together, throw it on some tortillas, and that's a meal. I got out my salsa verde. I was going to try that, but this is good just like it is. All right, let me switch because I want to try something else too. Hang on. That's good. I didn't make it thinking it was not going to be good, but you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like, I'm gonna make this and it's gonna stink and that's gonna be funny. But I don't know. It just seems a little bit weird. Oh, you know what? You're supposed to put cheese with it. It's good even without the cheese. So you're supposed to, of course, use like Mexican cheese. Well, I was gonna cheat and make a white girl taco and use fat-free cheddar cheese. So I came up with, like, I put all my things in my Weight Watchers calculator, and I wanna say it came out to 1 point because all I used was, I mean, obviously the corn and the peppers and all that. Sorry, I'm trying not to have an incident with food in my mouth. But the corn and the peppers and all that obviously is 0 points. You're supposed to use 3 tablespoons of butter. I was like, not a player in that game at all. So I counted, I think, like 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which I did not use. But yeah, I think that's the only thing. Y'all, please remind me if I used something with points that I don't remember using. Like I said, I'm not feeling sick, but I'm just a little like, you know, goofier than usual. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited by this. So I think that's where I was going with all that. I want to try some tahini. Y'all remember I got this over the summer? Was it watermelon? I wanted to try it with watermelon because that's what all the cool kids were doing. So, well, that's a lot of that. That is a lot of that I just dumped on here. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to use the same plate and just scrunch that mess over. And dip some of this on there. Because I've even still already got some chicken I can eat. So let me try. I'm nervous now, can you tell? Because I put too much seasoning on this one. Let me get this piece of chicken. I know, y'all, this will not be the first time I've embarrassed myself in front of y'all eating something on camera. Here we go. It's a little bit of a lot. I don't think I put too much seasoning on it. I think, so tahini has kind of that weird little like lime flavor to it that I really like. And I think when you put it like that flavor, I think when you put it together with the chicken and a taco with maybe some cheese, I think that would be good. By itself with just chicken, it's a lot. But I like it. I know. I'm like, oh, it's a lot, but I like it. I do like it. So, y'all, I think this is a great option. It's cheap as chips. It's stuff that I bet most of us, I mean, other than the peppers, like I just happen to have those poblano peppers from, I don't even remember what I used them for, but did we make like a chili or something? I don't know. We made something weeks ago and I had poblano peppers from that. And I still have another poblano pepper in my fridge, but I just happen to have those. But you can do this with or without the peppers. You can do just corn, throw it in a skillet, brown it. Even if you throw in some butter, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. It probably tastes really, really good. And then use that with some Greek yogurt, fat-free Greek yogurt, or sour cream, or mayo if you want like a light mayonnaise, something like creamy to give it a little bit of flavor. Throw that together with some chicken or turkey or shredded, I almost said shredded meat. This is meat. Turkey is meat. I know I'm arguing with myself. Shredded something, pork, beef, chicken, turkey something on a tortilla, y'all, that's a meal right there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat me a little bit of this. I'm gonna go sit on the couch and read books with my puppies. And then I'm gonna feed the intern some of this when he gets home. So y'all let me know. First of all, my myth busters. What myth do you still believe, even though you kind of know you shouldn't, but you still go by it? What are your myths that you're still holding on to? And what myths do you see other people holding on to that you wish they would just give up? Let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we're most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.